So the first, because I started to play Assassin's Creed from a syndicate, so I wanted to study this game a little bit more. So when I asked about my friend, when it comes to the music of Assassin's Creed, what do you usually recommend me to go as the first music piece? And 120%, it was all Aziel's family, Aziel's family, Aziel's family. So I know that was the point where I started to work on Aziel's family. And during the preparation time, I had close contact with Ubisoft, that we were exchanging music files, and we've got like a lot of files, around like 30 gigabytes of music files. So it was a lot to go through. Then we had to know which music would be good to be used in the concert, and which music we would be able to put in the right place in order to trigger the audience. So it was a lot of selecting music, organizing, and keep the music in a symphonic concert format, because what we're talking about is not just a original soundtrack, because we wanted to create something new, something that's more exciting for the audience. So that's why we didn't literally copy and paste from the original soundtrack. We organically remake the music particularly for this project for Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed games, I started to play Syndicate. For video games, I remember when I was a child, I started to play like Street Fighter 2, and that was where I started to know what video game was. And of course, I played games like Sonic, like Mega Man, all those like classic games. And that's also the place where I started to get to know like video game composers, music composers like Yoko Shimomura, whom I work with for Final Fantasy 15. So I actually recorded piano for the original soundtrack for Final Fantasy 15, and we all established a close relationship with musicians, composers. That's what I believe, that video game and music, it's a huge and powerful connections in between. So I got the same question yesterday, and I know that if I didn't say Aziel's family, I would get blamed. But I do love Aziel's family, but I also like very much the soundtrack from Black Flag, particularly on the Horizon and the main theme. And also the main theme from Origins, because those are so powerful, and it was a pleasure to literally remake the music from the original soundtrack to the symphonic setting. No, of course not. I started as more of a classical pianist, and I started to play the piano pretty late, around the age of 12. And at the time, I remember I was playing music like Beethoven, Bach, or like French composers like Ravel, Debussy. I never imagined to play or to produce such projects, like video game projects.